Hello everybody, this is Cyan Link coming to you with another video. Today, instead of doing a knife review, I would like to do a review of some gear, namely a magazine. This is the Magpul PMAG Mag Level. Mag Level meaning it has this window in the side to see how many rounds you have left in your magazine. For comparison, I'm putting it next to the USGI aluminum magazine. This is the standard issue magazine for the United States military. Well, let's begin. First of all, the PMAG, you can see, is just about a half an inch longer than the USGI magazine. Not too big, but keep in mind when purchasing these, if you have certain double or triple mag pouches, the PMAG can have some problems fitting into those, especially the ones that have those overhang flaps. That little extra half an inch can sometimes mean that that flap will not reach the Velcro on the other side. Most of them can handle it, but just be aware if you are using that style of magazine pouch. Alright, as you can see, the PMAG is made of polymer, which modern day polymer is stronger than steel. If you look around on YouTube, you can find videos of people running over the PMAG with trucks and Humvees, and even one video they accidentally shoot it with an AK, and through all of that it still works. They ran over one of these with the exact same truck and it broke. So if you're thinking, oh, it's plastic, it's going to break, it's not very strong, you are wrong. Provably wrong with science. So, next, polymer is kind of self-lubricating, and really what that means is that you don't get that metal on metal grind that you get with aluminum. And this helps both in the feeding of the rounds and helping the magazine sit properly in the magazine well of the weapon. Of course, I don't have an M4 or any rounds sitting here in my barracks room, so you're going to have to take my word for it. But if I have to manually unload one of these, I have to push it out a little, then pull it up and twist it out the rest of the way. Every once in a while, I will get a round that does pop out like this, but when I do, it usually goes flying, and then I got to go looking for it. One of these, I just take it and it just flick, 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 and they come right out, no problem. Secondly, seating them in the weapon. These, a lot of times, you got to put them in, you got to give them a really hard slap up on the bottom of the magazine, and even then it sometimes won't fit right, and I'm sitting there slapping up on it 2 or 3 times, wasting 10 or 15 seconds trying to get the damn magazine in the weapon. With these, with the PMAG, I put it in, don't even have to slap it, just give it a slight push, and I hear it click, and I know it's properly seated. It is in there. It's not going anywhere until I press that magazine release button. Next, let's talk about some of the points of the two magazines. First, we'll talk about the magazine follower. For those of you who don't know a whole lot about weapons, these are magazine followers. Basically, when you put rounds in, these get pushed down, and as rounds get pulled out by the weapon, they push the next round up to be fed into the chamber. These are okay, but just to demonstrate how much smoother the PMAG is, I can push this down from the middle and it'll go straight down. But if I push it from the front or from the back, it won't go down. With the PMAG, I can push it from the front, from the middle, or from the back. Finger's a little bit too big. And it goes straight down every time, no problems, doesn't get caught on anything. Very smooth action on that. Much better. The next one, I'm going to talk about the feed lips. Right next to the magazine follower are the feed lips. They're these little overhangs. Basically, if you don't know, again, you probably do if you're watching this, but the rounds will get caught up in here, and that'll hold them in place until the bolt comes forward and pushes the round out up into the chamber to be fired. Now, the thing about the PMAG's feed lips is that they'll break. This may sound like a bad thing, but let me explain. I have spoken to people who've been using the PMAG for years, and they say it has an extremely long life. They said the PMAG will last a good 3, 4, maybe even more 1,000 rounds before they'll break. And the thing about them breaking is you can look at it and say, this magazine is broken. I can't use it. What will happen with the aluminum is aluminum bends, and you'll have, we leave our magazines loaded through the entire deployment. So that's 9 months of the spring pushing up on these feed lips, and slowly they'll start to bend a little bit. But the thing is, you won't notice that looking at the magazine. You won't be able to see it. What will happen is you'll put it in your weapon and you'll try to fire and you'll hear a click. Your weapon won't fire because the rounds will not be able to feed properly. Those feed lips will be getting in the way of your bolt, and you will not be able to shoot your weapon. And you do not want to be finding out that your magazine is not serviceable in the middle of a firefight. So the fact that you can look at the PMAG and say, hey, the feed lip's broken, I can't use this, is actually an advantage. And keep in mind, polymer is very strong. These PMAGs are known for having an extremely long service life. Last thing we'll talk about cleaning. As with any other part of a weapon, let me get my Gerber real quick. Magazines need to be cleaned. They get carbon in them. They get sand in them. The spring can get rusty. Or in the case of the aluminum, the whole body can get rusty. The thing with these USGI magazines is I've never been able to get these bottoms off without breaking them and then can't put the magazine back together. So I'm not going to bother with this because I do have to turn this back into the arms room. However, my personally owned PMAG, if I turn it on the bottom, you can see this little piece of plastic. I push down on that with a Gerber, slide this off. There's your guts, there's your spring, clean the inside of the magazine. Easy access, good to go. Once I'm done, take the magazine again, slip the guts right back inside, and then put the bottom, the floor plate, back on. I am done. That took all of what, 5 seconds to put that thing back together? Very easy to maintain. Very good selling point. Magpul's one of their main slogans is make it easy. They say easy is hard, hard is easy. You want to put some effort into making something very easy to use and maintain, and that's exactly done with the PMAG. So every aspect I can think of, except for, like I said, this one's a little bit bigger. If you're using double or triple magazine pouches, you may run into a little problem. But other than that, better in every way. It's more reliable, it's stronger, it lasts longer, it looks cooler. Just every single aspect you can possibly think of, the PMAG is better. You will spend a few more dollars on it. The ones with Windows on the Magpul site, magpul.com, are going to run you about $18. The ones without Windows are a little cheaper, but they'll run you $15 to $16, I forget which. But yeah, you are going to spend some money on them, but the advantage of having them last pretty much forever is really nice to have. And if you own an M4 or M4 style rifle, it is worth note to get these magazines. One other downside I almost forgot. These magazines, they tend not to fit in a lot of rifles. The thing about the USGI is it's completely NATO compatible, so not only will it fit in all M4 style rifles, it will also fit in other things like the AUG or the SCAR, a 5.56 SCAR, of course, the SA-80, so on and so forth. However, Magpul is currently developing an M3 magazine that's supposed to be full NATO compatible. It's not out yet. It is July 31st, 2012 at this moment, and as far as I know, I checked yesterday, those magazines are not out for sale at this time. But very nice magazines, very highly recommend getting some, especially if you're going into combat. You're going to increase the reliability of your M4 by a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Cyan Link. I hope to see you again here soon.